I don't like the narrative that Gen Z, because we're less willing to put up with like a toxic environment, that it means that Gen Z are less willing to work hard. I don't enjoy the narrative that like,
agreed.
oh, it's so, and to be fair, even some of my millennial friends, co-workers, keep it vague, will sort of say things like, oh, you know, I hear from my friends at other companies that, you know, not UG, but like other Gen Zs in the workforce, like they're just clocking off and they're not, and like maybe there are like I'm sure there are individuals that are doing that, and 100%, but at the same time, like I just really resent the narrative that like just because I don't want to be like cracked, like have the whip cracked on me into the wee hours of the night doesn't mean that I'm any less willing to go for opportunities, work really hard, go the extra mile. Like I'm still willing to work hard. I just don't want the like toxicity, and that's what I'll push back on.
You've clocked into office hours with work besties Sohan and Hameda, helping you survive and thrive between 9 and 5.
We believe in work and play, so get ready to crush your career and live your best life.
Today we have our Gen Z twins on the show.
Literally our Gen Z twins. Speaking of work besties, these two icons are like, our little Gen Z copy-paste. I love their vibe. They're on TikTok. You've probably seen their viral videos about office life and working with your bestie and stuff.
And if you haven't, you should go and follow them because they're iconic and so funny. And we're going to talk about all of this in like 3 seconds when we cut to when they're sitting where I am right now.
Should we go 3, 2, 1, action?
All right. Georgia, Libra, and Eden, Capricorn, better known as G and Eads, or as their TikTok alter egos, Office Girls 1 and 2, are the worst.
Are the worst.
It's really wordly.
And that's
End
it.
of bio.
Are the worst.
No, they're not the worst, but they are the work bestie manager direct report combo responsible for all things creative strategy at Val Morgan Digital. Having maintained a friendship after working together at an old job back in 2021, when the opportunity came up for Georgia to refer Eden for a role in her team at Val Morgan Digital, both jumped at the opportunity to work together again. And almost 2 years later, the rest is history. Around the office, you'll find them ideating on the business's next big creative partnership, filming one of their sometimes viral, always vibey TikToks, and navigating life as besties, one of whom happens to be the other's manager, or just generally flying the flag for Gen Z in the workplace. It's so true.
Hell yeah. Welcome to Office Hours.
Thanks for having us.
I didn't realize that you guys worked together before, but I love that.
That's part of our law.
It's a big part of our law.
It goes deep.
Huge part of the law.
I feel like I vaguely heard the story and then forgot that was a thing because it felt like first of all, it just felt like you were always here. Like it never felt like, oh, you came in. Like
I
it
feel
just,
the same.
it just felt like you guys were just always there as this little work bestie unit. And I love it. I love seeing it so much in the office everywhere. So cute. And on my timeline.
Literally. For everyone listening, like G and Eads are like, I feel like you guys are like the mini us. Like I'm like, it's like copy paste, but make them Gen Z.
Yes, so true.
Which I love.
Wow.
And if you guys are on TikTok, you would have seen their viral office videos, which is so cute. I love them.
Yes.
We're going to kick off with a question we ask all of our guests. What's one misconception that people have about your industry or role?
Oh my gosh, there's so many.
Tell us about it.
I feel like, I don't know if you get this, but heaps of my friends just think I work in like marketing. And I'm like, it's not the same. Like here, especially at Val, it's like we have a whole team for marketing.
Yeah.
And we're not in it. Like, so I think a lot of my friends and family are just like, yeah, like marketing. And I'm like, that's not.
I think, like probably more just like a general, no one understands like what we do at all. Like you say, creative strategist for Val Morgan Digital, and people are like, that sounds cool, like great. But I think more just like not so much a misconception, but just people just generally don't know what it is, what we do.
And me being people, because when
I was going to say,
I didn't know what
no
that role
idea.
meant until you know it was explained, and then I'm like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense why it's called that. But in my brain, I literally had no idea what the actual title, like how that reflected and what you actually did. And also freaking iconic at it, like literally best in the biz right here.
Icons.
Well, it's funny that you say that. When we were actually hiring for Eden's role, a lot of people applied and their backgrounds were in like data strategy. So that's why we had to change the title to be creative strategist, because a lot of people saw like Val Morgan digital and they thought like, oh, like data, strategy, etc. Which it is not. It's a creative strategy.
Well, I even remember when G got this job, I was like, what is that? And then the more, like, why I'm here is basically because I found out about like what a creative strategist is through her. And I was like, I want to do that one day. Like, I was like, I want your job.
And now you're here.
Yeah. And we manifested it into existence.
Yeah.
literally.
I love that. I want to know, what is the best and worst thing about managing your bestie / being managed by your bestie?
Well, the best is easy. Like
Yeah.
the best is so, like we always say pretty much from day dot when Eads came over, it was like it just felt like cheating life. Like we were just sitting there and we would look at each other and think like, when is the teacher going to come and get us in trouble for sitting together? Like it's not. Maybe you go with your best and I'll think about my worst. I have to think about it.
Okay. The best is probably because before this, well, I don't know if we need to give context about like when we worked together back in 2021, we only worked together for like 4 months.
Oh.
Like G had been at the agency a lot longer than me. I kind of came in. She wasn't like technically my manager there, but she did teach me like about the role. But then you left like 4 months after that. Yeah, sayonara.
Sorry.
And then we just remained friends outside of work for like years. So I feel like the fact that we got to see each other like every day again after like so many years was fun. And yeah, back to what G said, it's like, it just feels like a prank. Like I feel like I'm being punked. Like someone's going to come and be like, nah, get out.
Yeah.
So wait, so were you guys, did you, after that 4 months, become work besties, like before she left? Or was that like just an acquaintances and then over time you developed that relationship and then it just kind of like happened at Val Morgan?
Probably like the job that we had prior was really intense. Like it was super go. So I feel like we were friends, but it was also kind of COVID times, kind of at the beginning. So we definitely, there was the foundations for a very good friendship there. But it was, the job was so all consuming that we probably like only got to talk about work heaps.
And no one else there could do it. Like G could, and then I could. So it was just like us two against the world. But there was, I think, definitely like a spark, like a friendship spark. Like we just, you know, when you meet people like and you just click, like.
And then we fell in love.
Yeah.
No, but then the friendship definitely like really blossomed outside of work in like those years that we didn't work together. And then we got to bring it all back together at Val.
Yeah, but I reckon that in a nutshell, the best thing is like that we just get to see each other all the time. It feels like you're back in school. Like, you know, when you like leave school and you're like, wait, I just took for granted not seeing my friends every day.
Yeah.
But now we do.
Now you do.
It's
You
just
hacked
great.
it.
Yeah.
Now tell us the worst.
Yeah. I was like, so what's bad though?
Yeah.
Well, for me, I would say from the perspective of the one doing the managing, the worst thing is, and not that it's actually a full-on negative, but the worst thing would probably just be, like, obviously I uniquely care about her in a way of like she's my friend as well. And I being in a way responsible for her career development to an extent, sometimes that maybe feels a bit, it's not the worst part, but it can be a little bit like it's extra pressure, or I really, if I feel like I didn't do a great job that day, it's like I didn't just let down my friend, like, I didn't just let down my direct report, I let down my friend. But I would like to think I don't let you down too often.
It's actually, I'm just going to say, it's not to be all like, hee, but it's really hard to find a negative because I definitely had like hesitations coming into this. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like she's not going to just be my coworker, like she's going to be my manager. Like, what if it doesn't work out? Like I care about our friendship. Like, how's this going to go?
Yeah.
And I was like, not that I ever thought this because I just knew you so well, but I was also like, I haven't seen you at work in so long. Like, what if she's a bad manager? You know what I mean? Like,
because that can be a thing.
You know?
Like, you can love people and then suddenly realize they're terrible
you guys
managers.
talk about that in like all your other episodes. Like, I feel like it comes up so much when people are like, my manager's like kind of shite. Like, it's not good. I don't know if we're allowed to swear on here.
You can swear.
But she's great. Like, you know what I mean? I actually don't think I've had like a better manager ever. So,
Oh my God.
but you know this.
I go the extra mile because you're my friend. No.
No, it's just like, I feel very grateful because I'm like, you know, yes, she's a good friend, but she's also, and you guys would know this, like, one of the best strategists out there, like, hello, 30 under 30, we're not, like,
Literally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I'm just so glad that I get to, like, learn from you. And that it just makes for, like, a great working environment because we already feel so comfortable with each other.
And I feel like your vibes, like, spread around the office as well. Like, I feel like the great vibes you two have together, it's not just between you. Like, I feel happy every time I see you guys together. I'm like, oh,
It's so
good
true.
vibes, you know?
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, I want to get into these workplace dilemmas because they're very fun and juicy. And I feel like as work besties, like you two, us two, like we're going to have lots of thoughts.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Here's the first one. Am I the problem for ratting out my work bestie to my boss? I, 23 female, have been at my job for 2 years where I met Pal, who's 36 female.
Okay.
At first, I looked up to her. We had the same sense of humor, liked similar things, and I really wanted her to like me. She was the type who made it very clear if she didn't like someone, so I stuck close and agreed with her gossip. For example, she hated a coworker who missed a lot of work, so I joined in with the jokes. Looking back, I know that was wrong. In the beginning, neither of us were great employees. We'd sit around reading, crocheting, messing around instead of actually working.
That's kind of the vibe.
Then our boss had a meeting showing how bad our numbers were.
Not a vibe.
That hit me. I felt guilty and decided to change. I started pulling voicemails, answering calls, and helping more. But Pal didn't. She kept slacking, and I constantly covered for her when others complained because I thought she was my friend. Eventually, an old friend of mine, Gina, came back into my life. I didn't have the energy to hang around Pal as much. Pal started acting jealous, even saying she was being replaced. Around that same time, something awful happened in her personal life. I reached out to say I was there for her, and she only liked the message. I figured she needed space. But at work, things got worse. She kept bludging while I picked up the slack. What stung was that Pal admitted it herself. She'd shrug and say she was bad with the phones or wasn't doing much while I was burning out. One day, exhausted and fed up, I went to my boss. I told her everything, the calls, the workload, how much Pal wasn't doing. Immediately, I felt awful, like I'd just blown up our friendship. Pal's reaction was brutal. She told the entire office, posted about me on Facebook, and said I'd betrayed her. She said I was a hypocrite because I used to be lazy too, and that I never supported her during her crisis. Now I feel terrible. I know I gossiped, slacked off, and didn't know how to support her, but I've genuinely tried to change. Did I overreact by going to my boss, or was I right to finally stop covering for her?
That's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, there's a lot in that one.
It is not the responsibility of a 23-year-old to like support a 36-year-old.
So that's the age.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Gen Z millennial vibes.
Well, how did the question start off? Was it like, am I the problem?
Am I the problem?
For ratting out my
Like,
work
was I-
bestie.
Yeah.
You're not the problem. Like, I feel pretty clear cut. Like, you're not the problem.
Here is the answer.
Pal is the problem.
That's
and
not
Pal.
Pal is not your friend.
No, it's not a friendship.
Pal's
That's
not
what
your
I was
pal.
thinking.
Well,
No.
it was, and then it
At the
wasn't.
start.
But what, like, even at that point, was it? Like, or was Pal just finding someone to, like, have
Yeah.
bad habits with?
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
essentially train this person to also have bad habits until they realize that that's actually not the vibe.
Yeah.
I feel like, not that friendships always have to be, sometimes it's more give or take from either side, but it sounds like that friendship has been very unbalanced for a long time. And, at the end of the day, I don't know how they told the boss, like what the language used and what like the exact specifics of how you spoke to the boss. Like maybe it didn't have to be there. Like, there could be some positives in there with the negative, but at the same time, like you have a right to be happy at your work,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you do if, like, G was slacking off and suddenly you had to do all her work?
Okay, well, here's the thing. I feel like it's easy to start, like, resenting people that you work with when stuff like that happens. And so this has never happened with us, but I'm just kind of like, we're pretty good at, I feel like, being on the same page about things and, like, talking about things. And sometimes even I'll be like to G, can you answer this, like, as in my manager, not as my friend? Or, like, we'll kind of, like, switch between, like, manager mode, friend mode. And so I feel like talking about it, that's the one thing that, like, kind of flagged. I was like, before she went to their big boss, like, did she go to her directly? Because, like, yes, she did kind of, like, say that she tried to, like, talk to her about it, but it's like once you take that extra step, like, I wouldn't just, like, go to our, like, big boss. I would probably be like to G, like, look,
Yeah.
pull you
What's
away.
That's
going
why,
on?
Like,
that's
What's
why
happening?
I question how much of a friendship was left.
yeah.
Because I think my instinct would be to like cover for you for as long as possible. I'd be
Really?
like, well, yeah, I'd be like, something's obviously going on. Like you're not.
I'm like, I wouldn't.
But also, like, again, I don't know what their situation is, but like Eden's a fantastic worker, and if she started dropping off to that extreme, I would know that
Yeah, something's
something
going
was not right, and so I would probably shield any ramifications from our seniors and try and communicate with her as much as possible.
Yeah.
And then,
Has there ever been a time where you felt jealous of the other person because of their relationship with someone else in the office?
Great question.
I don't think so. Like, I remember, I don't know if jealous is the right word, but I knew about like so many people in this office through G, like before I got here, just because like every time we'd catch up for dinner, whatever, I'd like hear about, so I knew about certain people. And so like, I feel like you had like a bit of a trio before I came here. And so I remember being like, I don't think it was jealous. I was more like, I hope that like I can fit in, like that they'll like let me in. And they did. But like, I don't know if jealous is the right word. We also have this like connection that I'm just like, well, no one.
sometimes I worry that like I don't want us to come across as like, oh, they're an exclusive. I don't think we do.
We've
I
had
hope
this
not.
thought as well.
Yeah.
But, you know,
hard one.
at the end of the I feel like people are projecting their own insecurities at that stage, because whenever someone does try to interact with you guys or us, like, we're immediately receptive. Like, it's not like a thing where it's like, why are you talking to me?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Plus, our work culture here is just so good. Like, everyone is just vibey
Great.
and, like,
Friends.
gets along.
Yeah.
So real.
So, unless we had, like, I don't know.
I think it's that thing as well, like what Ed said of her coming in, hoping that, like, what you were hoping coming in, I was also like, oh, I hope, like, she's really cool. Like, I hope people don't like her better than me.
Oh my God, I did not think that was going there. I thought you were going to be like, I hope she fits in.
No,
Yeah,
of course
like,
I hoped
she's a
that.
loser.
Of course. No, but you have like all sorts of like crazy thoughts when they
intrusive
and you're
thoughts,
just.
yeah.
I was like, wait, like she's so
I'm
cool.
still here.
Like,
And that's actually such a compliment, because that
Yeah.
just means that you
That's
think
really
she's so iconic that it's like,
well, probably I more mean it in the way like, don't
She's
take
like,
my
not that
friend.
iconic.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, she's my friend, like you know. But then I gifted her to all of you. She's
Yeah.
so
thank you
great.
so much for that, by the way. It's such a blessing.
It is. I want to know, have anyone here, have you ever outgrown a colleague or like a work bestie? And
Oh.
what did that feel like?
Several.
Yeah.
Oh. Let's talk about it.
Oh my God. I mean, and I, like, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. We're clearly the same genre of this friend group.
Yeah.
That's so true.
For me, it happened because they were expecting too much.
Yeah.
And I kind of couldn't meet their expectations of being a friend. And it's not like I was doing that for anyone else in the workplace or outside of it. That's just not like the kind of communicator I am. And they were expecting me to be the kind that was like constantly messaging, like just very much in constant communication, always checking in, always hanging out. And I'm very much a person who likes to be isolated and have my space. And sometimes I won't reply to messages, and it's not because I hate you, but it was very much like I wouldn't reply to a message and they would think that it was a personal attack.
Yeah.
And then it just got to a point where I had to back off and like slowly fade
It out. Yeah. So was it ever spoken about, or just like naturally, just like slowly?
I thought that it wasn't going to get spoken about, but it was brought up at a later date.
Oh, no. You're
But
like,
it
I'm in the
was-
clear.
It was resolved. It was resolved at that stage, but yeah. But that's all I'll say on that.
Yeah. What about you guys?
You had a strong reaction.
Yeah. I feel like similar vibes, I think.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like as you move around a company, like maybe into different teams and stuff, that just kind of naturally happens.
Exactly.
Yes.
But also, I feel like in my work life and also in my personal life, like I'm a big, like my friendships are all pretty low maintenance. Like, and so that's kind of why this works well as well.
Why we work well.
And like sometimes like we speak all day, every day, basically from like Monday to Friday. And sometimes we just like won't speak on a weekend. But I'm
Yeah,
not like,
literally.
she doesn't like me or like
Yeah.
she's not like, Eden didn't text me. Like
Exactly.
it's just like
Yeah.
we are friends and we just always will be. And there's no expectations.
Yeah.
So
Like, for example, Sohan is always the one who messages me being like, do you want to go for a walk?
Yeah.
And I will never be the first one to message, but every single time she messages, I will say,
You're like,
oh
yes.
my God, yes,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
If it was like a situation where a person is like, I'm going to stop messaging to see if she'll
message me.
I won't. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
no,
yeah.
I'm sorry to break it. It's not going to happen. Like,
It's
just
true.
we're never going to hang out again, basically, is what is going to happen.
That's real. I did at one time think, like, I wonder if Hameda actually wants to hang out with me or if she's just saying yes because I'm asking her.
But then, do you know what you did?
I told you about that and then you were
I
like,
responded.
no.
Yeah.
Because communication is friendship.
Yeah.
Communication is key. This is a good one.
Okay, so the subject line for this one is the kawaii coworker.
Ooh.
So I, 34 female, recommended my friend Joan, 27 female, for an opening at my company. She got the job a few months ago and immediately impressed people. Hardworking, pleasant, well-liked, my boss was happy with her. But then I started overhearing comments. Some coworkers said she couldn't be taken seriously because she was too cutesy. I started paying attention and saw what they meant. She bought her lunch in a Sanrio bag. Shall we all pull out our card readers? She pulled out her lunch in a Sanrio bag, had a pink floral cover on her iPad, and used kawaii-themed stationery. Oh my God, I can't speak. Stationery. Nothing flashy, just different from our male-heavy male-heavy workplace where everyone takes themselves seriously. Yesterday, while chatting about the upcoming week, I suggested Joan turn down her cute style. I explained that people were already not considering her for opportunities because of how they perceived her. She was upset. She said she had the right to use whatever she wanted as long as it wasn't offensive, and reminded me that she already toned it down when meeting external clients. Then she flipped it on me. She pointed out how men in our office have Avengers notebooks on their desks, but no one questions their professionalism. She said our workplace was toxic and that I'd been so immersed in it I couldn't see how unfair it was. Finally, she told me that she was thinking of resigning. She already had a better offer in a less toxic environment, Slay. I was stung. I recommended her for this role, and now she might leave. I told her she'd run into the same issues elsewhere in the same industry, which only upset her more. I'm worried about how this will affect our friendship and don't want this to reflect badly on me for recommending her for the role. What do I do?
I think Joan's making... Is it Joan?
Joan's
made the right call. Like, see ya.
Literally. Clearly you're not a cultural fit. I think that's a very mature decision.
Yeah.
And also ill.
Yeah. I don't like that. As soon as it was like...
Male.
Yeah, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, I roll. Yeah, I feel like it's hard because I can tell that OP was trying to look out for this person, but I think actually was maybe projecting a little bit or like going a bit too far in the sense of like not looking at the root of the problem and actually just being like, you need to fix whatever you...
Like maybe they felt the need to change themselves for that particular workplace and were almost even triggered that they didn't seem affected by it and didn't want to change themselves. And they were kind of like projecting, like, why can't I? Like, just be, you know.
Yeah, like it's that thing of the things in other people that bother us most are a reflection of things that we don't like about ourselves.
Yeah.
So if it's triggering you in that instance, maybe it's because like, are you maybe wishing that you could be a bit more like expressive or, but in terms of what you should do, it's like, I think you should support your friend. At this point, she's been your friend much like longer than she's been your coworker. I don't think it's going to reflect really bad. Like maybe one person will have the thought of like, oh, annoying, blah, blah, recommended this person and it's not worked out. But really...
But resigning is also not a criminal offense.
No,
exactly. Like, no one is going to be upset that it's not like she's doing something horrible to the business and leaving. She's literally just saying...
Yeah, she puts in her notice.
Yeah. I do see
rolls.
how, like, and I think this is a bigger conversation about like the patriarchy and like sexism, because it's like women, like I feel like there is a possibility that Joan may have experienced some discrimination, maybe that's not quite the right word, but like because of her like cutesiness, especially in a male-dominated environment. So I think that is something that definitely could happen, especially in that male-dominated space. And maybe Joan was trying to look out for her, but I mean, it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, it does depend on the context.
Like, I feel like it's hard. Like, here we are, like, wearing cutesy stuff. I have bows in my hair. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, you've got jewels on.
Literally,
but
I've
like,
literally got gems on my face.
Yeah. At our workplace, at least, it's almost, like, encouraged. Like, no one really bats an eye.
Although, I would argue that 2 years ago that wasn't the case.
Really?
No, I would say 100%. When they were speaking, it actually reminded me, well, not in the judgment way, but like it reminded me of when you guys started the business. And I remember Hameda walked in and I saw the outfit that you were wearing, and I was like, and I was like, oh my God, one, love this girl, and two, I was worried because I was like, oh, like, is she gonna not get in trouble? But I was worried.
I actually did get spoken to.
Yes.
Really?
What do you mean?
It was basically this is what the culture was like. This is the culture we're in now. Just be wary of like what you're actually like, because we used to just dress however we wanted.
I literally wore a tracksuit set to the office.
Yeah, like it was
That's
no one
amazing.
cared at all. But like it was like, this is a different environment. This is a situation where it is more corporate, and like you probably want to adjust. And my response was, nah.
Yeah, like I'm good.
Thank you.
Actually, like obviously I'm not. But I was never like wearing anything scandalous.
No.
So
it just wasn't traditional corporate wear. Yeah.
I did, but it did create something in my mind that was like, every time before I left the house, I was like, is this like possible?
Yeah.
That I'm not going to get
That's
called
hard.
in.
I feel like you were saying this before, like it is tricky, and like maybe she was not getting like proper opportunities or like being taken seriously, but it's like, well, do you want to work there?
Yeah. Or like
vibe.
maybe then you should change the culture. Like maybe you should say, actually, it's none of your business that she has kawaii pencil cases. Like, how does that affect your work? Get on with it. Like, you're literally calling out the wrong thing. It's if she's adjusting it for like client-facing situations,
then
it
what's
shouldn't
the problem?
be an issue.
Yeah.
So true.
And as her friend, maybe you should have spoken up about that and said, it's actually none of your business. Like, you have an Avengers notebook. Like, I'm so sorry, superhero. Like, it's the same thing. Get over it. Like, and obviously they didn't do that, but maybe they also didn't feel confident enough to be able to express
I think
that.
maybe.
It is a really tricky one. Yeah.
Would you ever tone down your personality or style to be taken more seriously in the workplace?
Well, what I was going to say before was like, toning down is probably not the way to put it, but I feel like I definitely have gotten advice before around the phrase of like dress for the job you want kind of thing, or look at the people in the business who have the roles that you want to move into, or just people that you admire generally, and look at what they're wearing and how they present and themselves. And go like mold yourself in alignment with that, but not like without staying true to who you are at the same time. But definitely I've thought about, wanting to dress. It's funny to talk about our specific culture, but I definitely sometimes think like maybe I should be dressing a little bit more corporate or dressing up a little bit more. And, I know that people do get sort of noticed when they're like some of the guys, when they wear suits after like not often wearing suits, they'll get comments like, wow, you're looking super professional today. And like, so sometimes I think about that, but at the same time I also think self-expression is so important, and we're in creative jobs as are you guys, so I think that's almost a bit of I don't have to think about like this stuff as much because it's a bit of a free pass to be like, but we're the creatives.
So real. I literally remember one time, this is years ago, like different situation, but I went to like a client event and we were representing the company, and I was like going with the sales team. I think I was the only creative that was going as well, and I was like, what do I wear? Like, everyone's wearing heels. Like, I really don't want to wear heels because ouchie. And then they were like, don't worry, literally wear sneakers, wear whatever you want. You're a part of the creative team. Like, they love that. They love to see the creative. I was like, okay, cool. So I wore sneakers. It was weird. But that did make me think of that. But I think generally, even like what we were talking about when we came over from the BuzzFeed like startup environment to the more corporate context that we're in now, I feel like I went from like super creative, like not corporate wear, flip-flop to the complete other side where I started wearing really corporate clothes, and I was like, this doesn't feel like me at all. And then I came like somewhere in the middle where it's like passable, acceptable, not inappropriate, but still like...
It's like your original style in the corporate
genre.
genre.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is kind of like what you want, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to lose the originality, but you want to also like fit in within the aesthetics and vibes.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Do you think that Gen Z is less willing to put up with toxic environments compared to millennials?
100%. Like, hands down. What do you reckon?
Wait, can you say the question again?
Do you think Gen Z is less willing to put up with toxic environments compared to millennials?
Yes. Like, I feel like it's a fact, kind of.
Yeah.
And definitely maybe like millennials and Gen Zs are less likely to put up with toxic environments than the generations that came before us as well. And it's like really tricky to work. Like, it's it's a really tricky thing to navigate because obviously those other generations are
The ones who
still in the workforce.
Yeah, phased out.
That's literally what I say. I'm like,
Yeah.
they're all going to retire. It's okay, guys.
Yeah.
It's fine. Give it
Sorry,
a time.
love you guys.
Love you guys.
Well, and also, yeah, it's good to, like, sometimes I'm like, oh, it's good to be maybe pulled sometimes out of it's easy to go down the rabbit hole of, like, it's out of my scope and I won't touch it. And it's good to have other perspectives and get that diversity of perspectives. But at the same time, like, yeah, definitely less willing and rightly so.
There's a limit. Like, I feel like there's a grey area. You don't want to push it too much.
Yeah.
But I also just feel like that's, like, not to get deep, but I'm like, that's, like, evolution. Like, that's... Do you know what I mean?
you're
Love
so
it.
right. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, change is good.
Yeah.
And I feel like so much has come from, like, Gen Zs and, like, younger people entering the workforce. That's, like, super valuable.
Well,
Yeah.
yes. Also, actually, I revised everything that I said before. I think, like, how I feel about that is, like, I don't like the narrative that Gen Z, because we're less willing to put up with, like, a toxic environment, that it means that Gen Z are less willing to work hard. I don't enjoy the narrative that, like,
Agreed.
oh, it's so... And to be fair, even some of my millennial friends, co-workers, keep it vague, will sort of say things like, oh, you know, I hear from my friends at other companies that, you know, not UG, but, like, other Gen Zs in the workforce, like, they're just clocking off and they're not, and, like, maybe there are like, I'm sure there are individuals that are doing that, and 100%, but at the same time, like, I just really resent the narrative that, like, just because I don't want to be, like, cracked, like, have the whip cracked on me into the wee hours of the night doesn't mean that I'm any less willing to go for opportunities, work really hard, go the extra mile. Like, I'm still willing to work hard. I just don't want the, like, toxicity, and that's what I'll push back on.
And I would
love
argue
that.
that, like, across generations, people do that. Like, it's not a Gen Z thing. Gen Z just aren't quiet about it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
Yeah.
But it's so true, because I have heard that narrative that, like, yeah, Gen Z don't want to work. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, all the Gen Zs that I work with are so hardworking and so committed. And I actually respect the way that they have boundaries and things like that.
The
I think
boundaries
it's
make
important.
them better workers, actually.
And I feel like us as millennials, like, in my early career, like, there was, like, toxic things that would happen, toxic environments that I thought was normal. And then that's just kind of how you learn. And then you have to unlearn that. And I really appreciate, like, the changing narrative about all of that. So
It's just a different approach, you know?
Yeah.
It's not wrong. It's just different.
And also, like, I would say, at least from my perspective, like, when I start, like, I've never worked a 5-day in the office working week. Like,
Wow.
when I...
That's crazy. Can we stop for a second?
whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What do you mean?
Well, yeah, no.
Well, when we started, it was like COVID. When I started my job, it was all... I finished uni in 2020, so COVID was obviously already happening. And then I started at the place we used to work at in 2021, which there was still a lockdown that year.
And it was like, when I first started, it was like 100% remote because, like, no one could come in.
Yeah.
And also, I will say, it's like most of Gen Z studied either their entire degree or a big chunk of it, like, remotely because of COVID. So
and now
it's
all the
like,
generations coming up, it's like their high school was affected. Like, it
like, people just got used to, like, learning and, like, studying and, I guess, working from home.
Yeah.
So it's like, I do not think I would survive. Like, I honestly am like, 5
I don't know
days
how
in the
we did
office,
it.
There's no way.
To this day.
And I used to travel further because I used to live further out, like 45-minute, an hour door to door, there and
2-hour
back.
transit daily.
Yeah.
5 days a week.
And it was like, we were fine.
And we loved it.
It was
Like,
fine.
I loved going into work.
Yeah.
When you don't know any like different, then it's just like it
Now
just
I'm like,
is.
it would be a deal breaker for me. I'm like, if you expect me to come in,
yeah.
I'm like, sorry, I'm not going to.
Well, I remember looking at jobs and being like, I immediately would rule out if it was like you had to be
Because that's
100%
just
in. I was
a
like,
power
I'm
trip
just
at
not
that
doing that.
point. It's like you're just literally doing this so you can get butts and seats, and actually the job doesn't require
Yeah,
people to do
yeah.
this.
especially
Like,
in our industry, we can totally do it remotely.
And
It's fine.
honestly, we get this a lot. I don't know if it's just like our creative role or whatever, but a lot of the times if we're really busy, we're actually encouraged to be like, if you need to be at home, like you need to be at home. Like how are you supposed to like, you know, it's hard in an office environment. Ours is pretty good to like, one, be super creative, but also to like really lock in. Because I feel like our work is pretty autonomous sometimes. And then, so you're just like.
Yeah. I think like, not to bring up the pandemic because like not to jump
No,
scare
it's
everyone with the pandemic.
I'm actually,
but-
that's such a valid point that I literally did not think about, because It's so true. It's been 5 years since that happened, and I think in my brain it's such a glitch that it I don't fathom the fact that you could have possibly not been in the workforce beforehand.
Yeah. Well, and
But
it's also
yeah.
Well, it's because like we came into the workforce at a time when it was like, oh, well, our first experience of working life was like, oh, we see what companies can do when balance is like forced upon them kind of thing, and it's sort of I think obviously the working from home and everything, it's like amazing for women specifically, like being a woman in the workforce at the beginning of my career, looking towards like getting married, having kids, like all that into the future, being in it. I think the reason as a Gen Z, I guess I would be so willing to protect that balanced culture is because, like I don't know, I feel like I was on a roll and I lost it. But like,
no, but working from home is like important as a
100%. Yeah,
we love it. We love working from home.
I do remember, this is like one of the clear things I remember when we started working from home. I think I never knew how many hours there were in a day until I started working from home.
Yeah.
Suddenly I had so much free time because I was not going to the office.
Yeah, because
I wasn't getting ready to go to the office.
Yeah.
It was like as soon as work was done, it was like, oh, I can now do whatever I want. And it's not like this whole thing to get back. And then I think that then impacted how I thought about working from home versus coming in, because it feels like the company is stealing extra time outside of your actual paid hours because of the time you take to prepare to go in, to actually make your way. Like it is actually a lot more effort. And if it can be done without all of that, then like, you know, what are you actually sacrificing? Like quite a lot.
Totally. All right, should we go next dilemma?
Oh my God, yeah, we've been talking for 6 hours.
I love it. I literally. Let's
can't
go.
stop.
Is this my turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Am I the problem for distancing myself from my work bestie? I used to have a work bestie in my department. We sat together, vented together, and at first we were aligned, especially when it came to not liking a certain coworker who was toxic and gossipy. But lately things have shifted. My bestie has gotten close with that very same coworker.
Scandal.
Now the two of them spend their days gossiping with each other, while I sit at my desk just trying to get through my work. I've made it clear more than once. I'm here to work. I don't need drama. My life outside work is heavy. I'm a caregiver for my sick parent, and I can't spend my 9 to 5 dealing with nonsense. But even after I said that, the gossip didn't stop. In fact, it felt like it intensified. Every day I'm greeted with more stories and more negativity. What hurts more is that my bestie still comes to me with gossip about what the other coworker supposedly says about me. She frames it like she's defending me, but it feels more like she's stirring the pot. Deep down, I suspect she runs back to that coworker and repeats whatever I say, basically feeding the drama on both sides. Now I feel trapped. If I confront either of them, I'm convinced they'll twist it, run to my boss, and sabotage me. I love my job. It's my dream role, but their behavior makes coming in every day incredibly uncomfortable. Between the stress at home and the tension at work, I'm overwhelmed and hurt. I don't know if distancing myself makes me the bad guy or if it's the only way to protect my peace. What do I do?
Cut her off or him. I'm just like, you don't need that in your life. Cut them off.
And it's such a tell that they are absolutely talking about you when they come and
100%.
talk to you about the other person. I'm so sorry.
I don't like that.
I don't like the betrayal of it all. Like, the gossipy, like, it feels very toxic and... I don't like it.
Yeah, no, absolutely distance yourself.
No.
You are not the bad guy.
And
Also,
I'm sure
who
there are other people, like, you can pivot. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's other people in the workplace who you can kind of, like, become friends with. Because that's just, you just don't need that.
Yeah.
Well, and I know you guys have talked about this like on the podcast before, but like, are you really? How are we defining friend, work bestie,
real
at this point? Because like to me, that doesn't sound like distancing yourself from a friend. It sounds like distancing yourself from like a sort of toxic person, like you know. And if that was someone in your non-work life,
so
good
true.
point.
100%, you would be distancing yourself from them. It's just harder because you work with them.
Yeah.
In this instance.
Okay, question. Like, this story is very much like gossip, but like with your guys' like work bestie friendship or generally, when does venting cross the line into gossip?
Like venting about work?
Yeah. Or like people that you work with to your bestie or situations or whatever it is. Like, how do you draw the line? Do you draw a line?
Yeah, I'm like, what line?
Isn't that the same thing?
Line, that's not in my vocabulary. No. I don't know. I think like for me where it would be crossing a line, I guess it goes back to that thing I said before of like being in the manager's seat. I would never want to, I don't know, maybe particular gripes that I have, or from a business perspective, not that I have any problems with my business, love you. But like, I wouldn't want to project that stuff onto her, and stuff that I'm maybe feeling frustrated about in the moment, but I know that I'm going to move on from feeling that way later, as much as it would, it's a temptation to be like, I want to go and talk to my friend about it. I'm kind of like, well, at the same time, like, I am in a like manager position, and I, especially if it's not something that I know is going to stick, it's just something that I'm annoyed about, and I probably draw the line at carrying that to her.
That's amazing.
I will say there have been times where I've kind of like raised something and then G's been like, I've actually thought this exactly. I haven't wanted to say anything.
I can cross the line if she brings it up first.
Yeah.
Not that we're like, you know, spilling any crazy tea, but it's just.
But you need a vent. Like you need a vent. Even if it means nothing, like you need to just say things out loud that make you feel better, and then you're like, okay, great. Like, it's done now. Now I can move forward.
Yeah,
100%.
But we don't. I guess it also goes back to maybe why our dynamic works really well. But I would say like just you like specifically working with Eads. It's like it's always safe. There's no like, we're also not the types to get like mean or like gossipy.
Totally.
I don't think. Not that.
Well,
I think
okay,
gossip is fine.
hot take, but I feel like gossip is good, or like gossip can be good,
Yes.
right? Like
Yes.
it fosters community and trust, and like it's natural. So it's like, yes, we gossip, but it's never like mean-spirited or like malicious. So like I think that would be crossing the line.
Yeah.
Maybe
If
it's like
unnecessary,
like,
or like
about a third party and you're not actually involved. Like if you're talking about a situation with other people, but like if something directly involves you, I don't think that's gossip.
No.
I think that's just you talking about your life.
Well, you're aware of the law on gossip and like where the word gossip comes from.
No.
I'm sorry.
Well, it was because like,
I know the law,
I'm
but I
setting it
don't
up like
know
I'm
the
about to
gossip
something
law.
crazy. Well, basically, like the word gossip, no one fact check me, but I'm pretty sure this is right, is like gossip was the term back in like ye old times for like when women would talk to each other.
Yes.
So it was just like,
I did
oh,
hear
the
about
women
this.
are gossiping. And that was just a term for their chatting and
chatting.
whatever.
It was like a
Yeah.
communication
Yeah,
network.
but then over time, it's become this kind of like sexist thing of like gossip is always a bad thing and people shouldn't gossip, and like, oh no, they're getting bitchy and they're gossiping. And to Eads' point, like it's not always a bad thing. Like we're bonding, you know?
Catching people up on things. And it's like the reason I remember when I found out about the law of gossip was that, of course, men, the patriarchy was the one who gave it like this terrible smear campaign because the women gossiping was essentially calling out some very horrible behavior from
sharing
men in the
information.
patriarchy. So shutting it down meant that these women didn't have each other to like speak to about these things and be like, hey, this person's shady, don't go near them, because it was like, oh, don't gossip.
Yeah.
But like actually was protecting the other women.
Yeah.
And that's where it like,
That's how we gossip, to protect.
but it's
It's
so
a survival
true.
It's so real.
Whenever you're saying something like if I'm saying something negative about someone or a situation to you, it's usually because I'm like, be careful, like this person isn't.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say we
Actually,
the same.
random recommendation. If you guys like gossip, there's a podcast called Normal Gossip.
Okay.
And every episode, they go into like random gossip from like some random niche community, and it goes for like an hour and a half.
Oh
It's
my
like,
God, I love
so
that.
good. Like, highly recommend. And they talk a lot about the gossip discourse and how it's actually a positive thing as well, which we love.
Okay,
So
obsessed already.
yeah, we love it.
New hire nightmare. I, 35 male, have been with my company for 3 years. Recently, a new colleague, 25 female, joined our team. She's only been here 3 weeks, but she's been trying to change how we do things, and HR keeps getting involved. It started small. She teased me about snacking at my desk, saying, "How do you stay skinny eating like a pig?" I brushed it off, but then she went to HR to complain that people eating at their desks was unhygienic and triggering for her because she's dieting.
Oh my God.
HR emailed the entire office. Now no one can eat at their desks anymore. What?
What the hell?
What the hell,
Next, she complained about a teammate's strong perfume. We all tolerated it fine, but HR ended up talking to Jane about it.
Oh, Jane.
Jane.
The last straw came over sunlight.
Oh my
yes.
God. Wait, I think I'm...
That must be a typo. The last straw came. And that's where I'll end that. One team of 7 usually keeps the blinds drawn. Oh, okay, never mind. It was like literally talking about sunlight.
Yes.
Never mind. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Wait, this is so I have to keep going.
Okay, our team of 7 usually keeps the blinds drawn. Glare makes it hard to see screens, but she wanted them open, saying, sun makes people happier and more productive.
I agree. I'm sorry. We need to keep the blinds open. I hate it when they close the blinds.
Me too.
Go sit elsewhere if the glare's bothering your screen. We're on. What do you mean? It's 3 p.m. and we're closing the blinds. I'll just go home then.
I'm in the pitch black.
Oh.
Sorry, keep going.
That annoys
Guys,
me.
the team agrees. Well, they don't agree with you, actually.
Yeah.
The team pushed back, but she kept at it. Was this about you?
I think maybe.
Is this play about us?
Yes.
Finally, I stood up and told her, you've been here less than a month, but you keep telling us what to do. We've bent over backwards to accommodate you, but enough is enough. If you want the sun, maybe you should sit near HR where it's bright.
Go sit next to your bestie.
She immediately accused me of bullying her, said I hated women, and that she was going to report me. Since then, colleagues have shared more stories. She asked to move a storage cabinet closer to her desk, inconveniencing others, told a coworker not to wear headphones, and complained about smelly lunches. Now morale is low. In less than 3 weeks, she's turned the culture upside down and made half the team anxious. I don't think I was out of line for pushing back, but she's painted me as a bully. So did I go too far, or is she the one out of line?
She's one out of line by the sounds of it.
She has
Except for the sunlight thing.
She's got some good points.
Yeah.
She has some good points.
Yeah.
But her approach, I think it's like, you've been there, 1 month?
Yeah.
Like, girly.
Is this a Gen Z one, do you think? Or like,
weeks.
I hate that she sounds like a Gen Z.
Yeah.
Well, if she's 25, she is.
Yeah.
Because again, like going back to our earlier point, like I think Gen Zs get a bad rap in the
because
workplace.
of her.
yeah, because of
really
people like
her fault.
her.
But to be, I think sometimes when someone in the workplace they've created, it's so hard once you get into, or once a person gets into that perspective of like they're a troublemaker, it's very hard to, it's just then everything they do becomes, so even if they have a point or whatever, if you've not approached it in the right way, or you've not like laid the groundwork to be able to approach things that way, then it's just so hard to dig yourself out of that
They
hole.
resent her now.
Yeah.
Probably. That's what it sounds
Especially with that eating your lunch at your desk thing being the first thing she
Oh
did.
my
like,
God.
what do you mean?
If someone
literally
said
Call
that
someone
to
a
me,
pig? That's
yes.
crazy. No.
That's
eating like a
bullying.
pig.
That's, diabolical.
and
check.
you're
Yeah,
on
what
a
the
diet, so you don't want people to eat at their desks.
and it's triggering for you.
Maybe you should
That
see
sounds
someone.
like,
No.
that
Have
sounds
some
like a
self-reflection.
Yeah, like something's wrong, girly pop.
No.
And it's not your team members. You know what I mean?
No,
Okay, on
yeah.
the thing where she has some good points, aka the one about the sunlight, just for context for everyone listening, in our office we're on level 50. It was my favorite thing about coming into this office. I was like, what do you mean I'm on eye level with the planes?
It's
This is
crazy.
wild.
It's actually quite cool.
Obviously, I snagged the desk next to the window, even though we hot desk.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Everyone knows it's
I
so
sat
hard.
there the other day and I was like, is Sohan coming in? I've stolen her desk.
to be fair, anyone can sit there, but like I love sitting there when I can. And it's my favorite thing. And then because of the glare, people like even like people I love in the office will be like, can we close the blinds? And I just it just dulls the mood, and I'm just like, well, why am I even here if I can't look out the window?
Some people
but I
have sensitive
deal with it.
eyes.
Well,
Yeah,
go
but, like,
sit
some
in the
people
corner.
don't.
Why should I? You should go sit where the sun is.
The sun is right where I'm sitting.
How about go outside?
How about going to the meeting room?
If you
about
want to
go
see the
home?
sun, go outside. That's where the sun
Right,
is.
I will.
That's
I will
where
be
she
going
lives.
outside and I'll sit near the window of my house. Anyway,
Well,
we should fight about
I
this
literally
more.
opened the blinds yesterday and a bunch of people were like, who did that? Because they're like, for reference, everyone, they're automatic. So
Yeah.
you just like kind of go and they lift.
Press-
And
yeah.
everyone was like, oh, like, what's going on? And I was like,
It
now
was
I
in the
know
spirit
that
of
we're
shielding her. They were like,
allies.
who
We're
did that?
allies.
I was like, I don't know. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I will preface and say that I actually don't care. I don't care if the blinds are up or down. I was just trying to tease her.
I see it
Dramatic, yeah.
so both
What do you-
ways.
like, how do
I
you
see
feel
it
about this?
really both ways. Because on one hand, it's like when the sun, in that like small window of time where it's like directly in your eyeball,
Yeah.
like that's annoying, you
Yeah.
know. But then most of the time, I'm pro sunlight.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, I
if it-
will
yeah.
say, right before, sorry, I cut you off.
You're fine.
Right before we came to record this, I was sitting at my desk and G was like, oh my gosh, like the sun's like really in your face. Me sitting there, I was like, whoa, like full sun.
Yeah.
But all I did, I just like was like, oh, I'll like pivot so that it's not.
Yeah.
Or I'll just move a desk. Like
Yeah.
that was what my like thought process was because I was like, this is too nice. Like, yeah.
Real. But what I was going to say with this, even though she's got that good point about the sunlight, where's the line between improving culture and being disruptive?
Oh,
I feel like here it's quite clear, actually.
Well,
bullying versus...
Here's the thing. Maybe if she was implementing changes that were improving the culture, then we could say...
Well, the sunlight was.
Just do it.
And I also think, like, she's not established enough yet.
Yeah.
Like, she's been there less than a month.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to rock the boat. Like, you just need to, like, become...
It's pretty wild behaviour, to be honest.
I think that is, whether it should be true or not, I think that is very true. Like, I've definitely seen it before when people come into a company and maybe they're immediately dissatisfied or, you guys are all closer than, like, I am and, they whatever. But you kind of, it's almost that thing of, like, if you can just do the grunt work or you can, like, just establish yourself at the start, because a lot of the stuff that they're describing is conducive to the fact that when you're in an office, like, it's a shared environment. It's people's lunches smell. Other people are allergic to things. Like, you've all got to be, like, conscious of each other and, like, respectful. But at the same time, I feel like if you can just put up with stuff for a bit at the start and then show everyone else that you're an ally, they're way more likely to listen to you into the, like, you just got to manipulate the situation a little bit,
100%.
Absolutely. I just feel like this person is very much living, breathing, giving entitlement because it seems like they want everyone else to behave in a way that would make them feel the best. For example, the not eating at their desks.
Not wearing
the
perfume
situation.
Or, like, the stationery cupboard. She wanted it to be, like, closer to
the
her.
storage
cup,
to inconvenience
yes.
it. Like, it's like very much she's just expecting everyone else to bend to whatever makes her life better and not really considering that
it affects other people.
it's actually, like, you're not the only person in this
Yeah.
office.
Yes.
It's also giving, this could be a hot take, but, like, that she maybe doesn't have a life out of work. Because it's like, why do you care so much about all this stuff? Like, clock in, clock
Or,
out.
like, attention seeking,
girl.
perhaps.
Yeah. I also thought, is she just like, if she's young and new, is she just like, I'm romanticizing my office job. I want it to be really fun and great, and, like, is just completely blind to the fact that she's
All that
impacting everyone
sunlight.
else.
Oh my God.
Well, and, like, it is a
Put some
criticism
sunnies
that,
on.
like, Gen Z get all the time of, like, you're entitled. But I feel like you are entitled to some things, in my opinion, a la work-life balance, a la lots of
I agree.
other things.
I don't agree in terms of this specific person.
No, but then there's a line of things that
This
you're
is
not
some
entitled to,
behaviours that-
and then that's where those things,
This
a
is
lot of
giving
those things sit.
go to therapy vibes.
Yeah, this is not a Gen Z issue. This is a this person issue.
Yeah.
For sure.
If the OP tried to make it seem like the age was the issue, then I would have been like, calm down.
Whoa.
Like, that's not actually
true.
a reason to
Yeah.
not like someone. But they literally did not mention her age at all.
No.
What were all the issues? What was the last one?
Okay.
It was
So she called someone a pig, but basically said, how are you so skinny when you eat like a pig? Which is, like, very triggering for people with eating disorders, first of all. So don't ever say things like that
That's
in an
crazy.
office.
Don't comment on what people
really
eat.
bad.
Yeah, you just don't.
Yeah, just...
It's so bizarre. And also, like, what if that person had an illness where they can't gain weight and you're like,
You just never know.
it's just
yeah.
not okay.
Except for, oh, yum, that looks great.
So
Don't say anything else.
exactly. How did you make
To
that?
be
Do you have a
fair, I
recipe?
hate bananas, like, so much.
Oh my
I
God.
hate
It's like
them.
a phobia.
Really?
Like-
Is there one in that bowl? Yeah.
No, I don't say it's a phobia. People have said that to me before.
Well,
and-
if I threw a banana at you, what would you do?
No. No, I really hate them. One time in my, like, before I ever worked in corporate, I worked at a gym and, like, I went to the break room and opened the fridge and, like, literally there was just, like, an old lone banana sitting in there and I was like, and shut the fridge and, like, never went back there. So perhaps it's a phobia, but I really hate, it's a known thing in our pod, like, please don't eat a banana. If, like,
Well,
I'm,
to be fair, yeah, I don't bring bananas to work.
but you know what I did? I established myself, proved I was an ally, and
Yes.
then
Now
Now
it's a
it's
fun
just
quirk
like
of
a
yours.
funny quirk.
It's
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
it's like a
new girl
joke.
started the other day and she, like, went to get a snack out of her bag and then her manager was like, oh, do you have a banana? And I was like, like, it was, like, happening. And he was like, gee, like, really doesn't like bananas. And I was like, oh my God, like, I'm that person.
Okay, no,
Okay.
it's so different,
Yeah.
Gee. That is
And
such a different situation.
You're not going to HR being
Yeah.
like, no one is allowed to bring a banana into the workplace.
No,
Yeah.
Well, on that, this HR person sounds extremely reactive. Like,
Yeah.
really
Shows that too,
intense.
right?
Literally.
Which, to answer their question, what should I do? Go to your HR and be like, you should, what did she complain? It's like, I would
Okay,
say,
yes, I was going through the list and
yeah.
we got stuck on the eating
Yeah,
bit.
sorry.
Yeah.
And we learned about the banana thing. I'm never bringing a banana now
I
that I know
know.
that. I did not know.
My parents have to eat their bananas outside of the house. Like,
Are you
Girl.
serious? Wait, are you actually scared of them or you just don't like
I'm
them?
not scared of them. I think that they smell disgusting.
That's so fair.
There's other banana haters out there.
It's a very
Let's
specific
unite.
smell.
Show yourself.
I
Okay,
yeah,
understand.
fair.
Like bananas are a smell.
And
We
Like,
all
all
it's
that
have
not like-
stringiness,
smell,
the
it's not like
stringiness that they
watermelon.
get.
So fair. They are very weird. Bananas are weird. I love a banana, but I will.
They
agree
are
with
weird.
you.
I would love to like them. Like, I know there's so many benefits
How do you
and
feel about
potassium.
plantains? Though?
What?
Plantains.
I'm not so familiar.
What is
Same
They're less
family.
intense bananas.
And you usually
basically.
fry them.
the mini ones?
Yeah, they could be mini. It's very
Like the mini banana?
no,
I'm
that's a
open-
banana.
I'm
It's a
open-minded.
different thing. It's a vegetable.
It doesn't have as much
Even
of
those
a
banana
banana-y
lollies.
smell, but it kind of reminds you of banana. Like you might be
We'll-
like, is this
we'll
banana?
report back.
Likely I won't like it, but you know. I have an
Okay.
open mind.
Check out their social channels where we
Yeah.
force G to make and eat.
That's all our
plantains.
TikTok content now? Sorry.
the list of complaints we'll go through.
Food at desks.
Yeah.
Strong perfume. Poor Jane.
Yeah, Jane.
The sun. The cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
And then she also accused OP of hating women and bullying her when he said, "Can you stop trying to change things?"
That was a bit.
Yeah,
like,
that's
you
crazy.
know,
But this is, I think that he should go to the HR and like be like, I was bullied, and say that she hates people who like eat. Like,
Literally.
And then the HR person will probably talk to her because this HR person is
Yeah.
so reactive.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild.
And then there was also don't wear headphones.
What is that about?
Don't have a smelly lunch.
That doesn't make sense
The
to me.
smelly lunch thing, if you're a person of colour who went to
Yeah.
school, you'll know that is not,
I hate
not
that.
on.
It's giving like, ew, are you eating tuna? Like, I can
Yeah.
smell it.
Yeah.
It's like, grow the heck
I still
up.
have trauma. Like, just whenever I eat, I usually eat in the kitchen, but if I am eating at my desk, I feel conscious of
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
you know,
Because people are mean.
Yeah.
like you just got to be considerate out there, you know.
Mhm.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think.
And-
Yeah.
If you don't like the perfume, like, go sit somewhere else.
Yeah.
I
I,
know,
I do
like,
get that
what-
though
or,
because
like, yeah.
I used to get really bad headaches when there was strong perfume. Like it was so bad. So I understand, but the way this person approached everything, the history
Exactly,
of
it's
everything
the
makes me
approach.
feel like it's
Yeah.
not.
And also, but the fact that the OP said we all tolerated the perfume. That means that
It's
there was
actually
a
quite bad,
problem
yeah.
with the
Yeah.
perfume.
I'll
Like,
give it
it
that.
definitely
Yeah.
But this
was
is
an
what I mean.
issue.
Like, imagine if she'd proved herself as an ally,
Yeah.
and then later down the line, gone, you know, to fellow co-workers and been like, hey, like, what's with the perfume? And then they'd all,
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
could have been a bonding thing.
Yeah.
In maybe not the healthiest bonding thing, but a
Yeah.
bonding thing nonetheless.
Yeah. Again, there were points to be made here. Sunlight, maybe the perfume, and nothing else. But
Unless
Wrong
it was
approach.
a banana eating a
Yeah.
snack.
Yeah. Look, this is probably the extreme version of someone who is like trying to change an environment so that they're more comfortable. But they're, you know, sometimes
Wild
things
to
do
me that
need to
people
be
behave
called
this
out.
way.
Yes.
Oh, you would not believe the things we've read.
the things
Oh my
we've
God.
read. Yeah.
the things we've seen.
People are doing things at work where
Wild.
that is just very bizarre. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Throwback to plates.
Plates,
plates, if you
as
you
an
know.
example.
Yeah.
Our friend Melinda, as an
The
example.
office snoop, Melinda.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So much lore already,
are
guys.
Weird. People are weird in workplaces. I just think they don't understand that it's like not
Workplaces
your
are a
house.
crazy
Also,
place.
weird that some people just aren't self-aware. Like, if I had like a few complaints, I'd probably be like, okay, I'm gonna like space them out. Like, I don't want to be a burden or like come across. But this girl's just like headphones, cabinet.
Yeah.
Going
sunshine.
to HR in your first 3 weeks of being in a job for any other reason than
Wait,
just like,
is this
hey,
the 3
where's
weeks
the
one?
like,
Yeah.
where's the
Oh,
bathroom?
In
Like,
less than
is
3
wild.
weeks, she's
Yeah,
been
that's
doing
wild.
all of
I don't even
this.
think I thought that our head of HR was the CEO of Val Morgan for a really long time. I had no idea that she was
real.
because it was always the
Yeah.
CEO of Hoyt's and then our head of HR. They were always together. So I was like, well, she's the CEO of Val Morgan. And I went like months being like, she's the CEO of Val Morgan. And then someone was like, Val Morgan has no CEO. And I was like, well, like the CEO of Hoyt's is the CEO. Is the
same
CEO of Val
CEO.
Morgan. Like it's the same person. There is no separate CEO of Val Morgan. I was like, well,
Who's that?
what is
Who's
that?
she?
What is her job?
What's going
and
on?
head of people and
Honestly,
culture.
she kind of gives CEO.
She
so-
is. She's the CEO of my heart.
Exactly.
She's an icon.
She is. She's going to come on the podcast, actually.
Oh my god, is she actually?
Well, trying to tee that up soon.
Oh,
Award-winning
God.
Yeah,
HR.
we love
lead.
you.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all we have time for today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you both so much for joining. This was so fun. We're going to have to get you on for a part 2.
Honestly, I feel
gosh,
like there's still
yes.
so much more to talk about.
Yeah.
We've talked for
for so long.
Yeah,
This is a
it
long
doesn't
We
one.
need
feel
to
it though.
cut the camera, cut the mics, and then gossip.
Yeah. Yeah.
True. The stuff you won't
Absolutely.
be privy to,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
This is all the stuff we had to
BTS.
sidebar.
The stuff about the men. No.
All right. Thanks for clocking in. Bye.
See you next time. Bye.
Office Hours with Sohan and Hameda is a Val Morgan Digital production and part of the BuzzFeed Australia network. Have a question or topic you want us to cover or a workplace dilemma you want us to unpack? Send us a DM on Instagram at officehoursbf or drop us an email on officehours@valmorgan.com.au.
For more, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at officehoursbf. You can follow Sohan on socials at Sohan Judge and follow Hameda on socials at It's Hameda.
Our music is by Jasic. Make sure to hit subscribe or follow so you don't miss an episode. And if you like what you hear, please rate us 5 stars and tell your friends to clock in.